On tonight's edition of The Overtime, we discuss Flagstaff football's big win last week at home, Coconino football's tough loss to Bradshaw Mountain last Friday. What do they need to fix heading into their bye week? NAU football hosts Weber State on homecoming tomorrow for what is previewed to be an epic Big Sky matchup. And NAU volleyball continues their dominance on the court. All that and more next up on The Overtime. Thank you for joining us and welcome to this edition of The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Cody Cameron. We have a packed show for you tonight with a lot of local sports action. And joining me in the studio is sports reporter Matt Stern. Matt, welcome to the show.
Cody, it's great to be here. I'm excited. Let's get this show on the road, huh?
Let's have a great show, Matt. And let's jump right into our first topic and start on the high school football field. The Flagstaff Eagles had a big win last Friday. Matt, what impressed you the most about this victory?
Cody, I was thoroughly impressed on how the Eagles were able to control the game from start to finish against the Prescott Badgers team that most thought would win this game. The Eagles set the tone early with their first drive of the game, which lasted 14 plays, 75 yards, capping off with a touchdown. Flagstaff was able to rely heavily on the running game as they ran for over 300 yards in the game. The Eagles were led by their workhorse, Austin Rhoda, who had 31 carries for 139 yards. The success of the running game allowed for the Eagles to move the ball methodically down the field and eat up clock. Defensively, the Eagles were equally as impressive as they were able to force 5 turnovers. Hopefully, this game builds momentum going into tonight's game.
Matt, I have to agree with you. Flagstaff showed their dominance last week running all over Prescott. Now they travel on the road tonight to face a pretty good 7-1 Mingus High team. This Mingus team is on a 5-game winning streak and has shut out its last 2 opponents. But if the Flagstaff Eagles can control the clock and run effectively, I think they can pull out the upset win down in Cottonwood tonight. Now staying on the football field, we move over to Coconino High School. The Panthers lost their 3rd game in a row last week. What happened in this game, Matt?
Cody, Coconino struggled against a very good Bradshaw Mountain football team, losing 56-22. Now, Coconino started the game off pretty well, jumping out to a 13-0 lead. They were competitive throughout the first half, only being down 28-20 at halftime. Senior quarterback Cristo Tabares had a great first half, throwing for 100 yards while adding a pair of touchdowns, 1 through the air and 1 on the ground. Early in the game, Tabares connected with David Quick for a 20-yard TD pass for Quick's first touchdown catch of the season. The Panthers fall to 3-6 heading into their bye week.
You know, offensively, Coconino does a lot of really good things. Cristo Tabares has had such a special season, partly because of his weapons on the outside. Wide receivers Jacob Hughes, Arthur Chi, and David Quick are having great seasons for this Coconino team. Now, you touched on it defensively. Coconino struggles to play all 4 quarters on defense. So that's a focus this team needs to fix heading into the bye week. Now moving over to the collegiate ranks, NAU football is fresh off their bye week and they're amped for tomorrow's homecoming game. What do you expect from this NAU team against Weber State tomorrow?
Cody, I expect NAU to come firing right out of the gates in front of 10,000 strong packed into the Sky Dome. Look for the Lumberjacks to feed off the sellout crowd and jump out to an early lead. It is crucial to get Casey Yon involved in the game early, as Weber State has struggled against the run this season, giving up 184 yards per game. Case Kukas will need the help of the running game to give him a balanced attack against the stingy Weber State secondary. The matchup to watch is the high-powered aerial attack of NAU going up against the Weber State secondary, giving up only 195 yards per game through the air. Right now, NAU sits with a 1-2 conference record, and they need to win this game so they do not fall too far behind in the conference standings.
Matt, this is a huge game for the NAU football team. Like you said, the Jacks enter this game 1-2 in conference play and face a must-win situation if they want to contend for a Big Sky title. The Jacks play so well at home as they're undefeated in the Sky Dome this year. Now, I talked to running back Casey Yon earlier this week, and he told me it is a huge advantage playing at home and that this team feeds off the energy from the crowd up at 7,000 feet. And finally, the last topic of the night is the NAU women's volleyball team. After another 2 home victories last week, Matt, how is this team looking for this week's games?
Cody, these Lady Lumberjacks continue their tear through conference play. Last week, they were able to defeat Idaho State 3-1. Since the beginning of October, the Lady Jacks have won 6 in a row going into their game against North Dakota last night. Not only have they been winning matches, they have been dominating. During their win streak, they have yet to allow a match to go 5 sets and sweeping 3 of those matches. This team is for real, and they appear to be the favorite to take home the Big Sky Conference title.
Matt, I was at this game last week against Idaho State, and the Lady Jacks dominated sets 3 and 4. This volleyball team has great chemistry on the court, and it all starts with the first team All-Big Sky outside hitter, senior Janae Vanderploeg. Janae was named Big Sky Player of the Week for the second time this season with her 41 kills and 20 digs in 2 games last week. With another home game tomorrow, I expect nothing but a strong performance from this team. Welcome back to the Overtime Sports Show. Sports reporter Zach Warhack met with Coconino volleyball players Tristan Eddy and Jessica McNeese for an in-studio interview. Check it out.
Thank you, Cody. My name is Zach Warhack. I am joined by Coconino High volleyball players Jessica McNeese and Tristan Eddy. Thank you for being here, you guys. Your guys' team so far this season is 21, 10, and 1. How have you ladies had such a success so far this season?
I attribute a lot to, I guess, our overall dynamics as a team. I guess in a lot of ways we're really like competitive, more competitive than, I guess, than we should sometimes be, but it helps in our gameplay.
We don't like to lose. We're competitive with each other in practice. We're competitive with every game we go into, and that's just we have a really strong will to win.
That there is a great trait to have as a team. Now, as a team, what would you say your guys' strongest part to your guys' play is?
I think it would definitely have to be when one of us makes a mistake, we just have that fire to where we don't want to make that mistake again. So, like, the mistake is done and over with. Like let's fix it.
Like, rarely do you ever see someone shank a ball and the next play them do it again. Like, we just kind of have that mindset to fix it.
Build right back. Now, as the season is winding down, what are you guys going to have to continue to do to finish the season strong and then have a deep playoff run this year?
I think we're gonna have to continue working on our consistency overall. That's something that we've continued to improve on, but definitely could use more work.
And I think with the rest of the regular season matches we have, they're all definitely tough teams, but they're all teams that we can compete with, and I believe that we can win. So I just think that we have to have that will to win, like keep that will to win, and we can.
Right. Tristan, this one specifically for you. You have a very important role on the team in being the setting up for the kill attempts. How do you keep a rhythm with your hitters throughout the game and stay on a consistent basis, know where to go with the ball?
It's really hard. Overall, like my players, my hitters are really strong, and I like to give everyone a chance just to see, like, in the game, like who's strong and who's not. Then, like, from there, that's where I make my decisions of when and where I should set.
And Jessica, you have a very important role in the team as well, as you're the libero. Now you have 367 plus and counting career digs. How are you able to be so successful when a kill attempt gets past your front row?
I just love defense. I love getting any sort of ball that gets off the block or just gets hit right at me. Like, I just think defense is an attitude, and I don't like to let things drop. And I don't know, defense is always something I've really enjoyed.
Now, finally, you ladies are both seniors. Coming up on October 29th at 6 p.m. You guys already know what that date is. Huge rivalry game against Flagstaff. How important is this game to you guys?
The Flag High game is always really important to every athletic program in the school, actually. It's an important game, but it's not something that we can focus on solely. Like, yeah, it's a rivalry game. Yeah, we want to win, but we're not going to put all of our effort into just beating Flag High. We need to focus on getting ourselves to the playoffs first.
Well, this is Jessica McNeese. That's Tristan Eddy. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Appreciate it. Cody, back to you.
Thanks to Zach, Tristan, and Jessica for that interview, and best of luck in the rest of your seasons, ladies. Sam, you've got our weekend sports schedule. How's it looking?
Yes, Cody, this weekend looks packed, and I'll tell you more about it after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Overtime. I'm Sam Oceans, and I'm here to let you know what's going on around Flagstaff this weekend in sports. The Flagstaff Eagles football team will kick off the weekend as they travel down to Mingus for an important conference matchup. Look for running back Austin Rhoda to rush for 100-plus yards as he is coming off a 139-yard performance last week. That game is tonight at 7. Moving to the collegiate level and the hard court, NAU Volleyball looks to continue their winning ways against Northern Colorado at home. That game is tomorrow at noon in the Roll Activity Center. Switching to the turf, the Lumberjack football team returns home to take on Weber State in an important Big Sky Conference Children's game. Look for Case Cookus and the boys to get back on track and get the Jacks a win for homecoming. That game begins tomorrow at 4 in the Sky Dome. NAU soccer will take on Weber State at home. As the season is coming to an close, the Lady Lumberjacks look to finish the season strong against the Wildcats. That game will be Sunday at Lumberjack Stadium beginning at 12 p.m. That's what's going on around Flagstaff this weekend. Make sure to come and support all your local teams. Back to you, Cody.
Thanks, Sam, for this weekend's sports previews. A lot of great games around the area, Matt.
Yeah, Cody, I'm really looking to the football game tomorrow afternoon.
Looking forward to that, too. And thank you, Matt, and thank you, Sam, for joining me tonight, and thank you for tuning in. Be sure to check out all the games this weekend, and check back next Friday at 6:15 p.m. for another edition of The Overtime.
Good show, dude.